Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. It is Sunday, and it's 7:30, and you know what that means. It means that it is time for the Ready, Set, Go preview show, and I want to give a warm welcome to all of the comic book soldiers out there, as well as those people that consider themselves to be part of the Gibbon gang. We do not have a jam-packed agenda, but there are some really cool things that we are going to talk about over the course of this show. And if this is your first time watching, I definitely want to invite you to hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. That way you can stay abreast of all the content that I release here from the channel. And this show that you are watching right now, the Ready, Set, Go preview show, is just one of many, I think, awesome pieces of content that I release here from the channel on a weekly basis. Videos are released Monday through Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. We have a couple of live streams randomly throughout the week. And then we always have this show that you're watching right now, the Ready, Set, Go preview show at 7:30 on Sunday night. And we are potentially going to be adding another dedicated live stream at some point during the week soon. It is still under consideration. But there are a couple of things, again, that I want to talk about over the course of this show. And we're going to talk about a few, little news tidbits that have been floating out there. We're going to dig into some details around those things. I'm going to give you a preview of some of the content that is going to be coming out from the channel over the course of this week. We're going to talk about some general stuff that may be top of mind for me and may also be on your mind as well. But above all else, we are going to have a great time as we mix it up and work our way towards giving away a really cool book from our sponsor at Go Collect. These guys have been sponsoring the channel for 80 plus weeks, giving me the ability to give away an awesome CGC slab every single week, going on 86 weeks as of this week. And I have another book. I have another book sitting right there that I'm going to be giving away next week. If you think that this book is cool, wait until you see what is sitting right there. So definitely stay tuned to that later on in the show. It's one of the last things that we will actually do. So let me say hello to some comic book soldiers first, and then I want to get to some housekeeping items, and then we're going to dig into some of the additional content that I just mentioned to you a few moments ago. So my man Matt Woods is in here. Jeffrey P is in the house. Master Blaster is here. Thomas is here. Tina, how you doing? It is good to see you. DB in the house. My man Jerry, it's good to see you. Randy Snake, one of the Regie Collects bloggers right here. My man Doug, it is always good to see you, my friend. Scrolling down through the names, seeing who else we have in here. Chuck is in here. Chuck, it's good to see you. Climbing Comics is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Congrats on the launch of your YouTube channel. Scrolling down, Quest Dog is in here. All right, so L Smith, I see you down there, brother. So again, I want to thank everybody. Give a special shout out to a couple of people. My man Lee, Master Blaster, and also Matt Woods. Master Blaster, Lee Woods, and Matt Woods, and Lee Atkins. I should have written the names down. That way I would have gotten them right the first time around. Shout out to all of those gentlemen for helping me on some projects behind the scenes that you guys will find out about in the near future. Fingers crossed if we are able to make some magic there. So one of the things that I wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to be changing, because these are the housekeeping items. There has been a little bit of confusion about which giveaway is which week. And what I'm going to be doing starting tonight is that the MailChimp post, right, where you can basically enter in to win the book that I give away every single week. That post normally goes up at 7:15 p.m. right before this show happens. I'm actually switching that to 8:30. So on Sunday night at 8:30, the entry form for the coming week will go live. That entry form will have a title. The title of that entry form will be the book that is given away that week. So if for some reason you see another video at any other point that does not match up with the title above that entry form, you know that you are entering the wrong phrase in the wrong week. So my hope is that that may cut down on a little bit of the confusion that exists. Because I tell people, video is going to be a bonus video, which basically means that, if it's a bonus video and it was previously recorded, it is not going to count towards the giveaway for that week, right? But that actually caused some confusion. So hopefully by putting the name of the book that is given away that week, my hope is that that will help people to know which week is the current week. At least that is my belief. And if not, we will make some additional changes based upon that. But I will tell you, I am planning a couple of tweaks and changes to the channel that I am very excited about. And what I'm thinking that I'm going to be doing is that when we reach 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to probably do a live show. During that live show, I'm probably going to give away a lot of stuff that has been sent over to me, some of which is sitting right behind the camera right there that has been sent to me by subscribers. During this live show, after reaching 10,000 subscribers, I'm probably going to give away a lot of stuff during the live show. And during that live show, I'm probably also going to make a series of announcements over the course of that show about changes and modifications and enhancements that I'm making to the channel. So I definitely want to encourage people to stay tuned. We are like this close. We are like this many subscribers close to reaching 10,000 subscribers. So if you are here right now, if you are watching this live, if you are watching this back on replay and you have not yet subscribed to the channel, and there's like 37% of you that haven't, I want to encourage you to hit the subscribe button. That way we can start to give away some stuff during the live stream. So definitely stay tuned for some announcements around that when we actually achieve 10,000 subs. So the very first thing that I wanted to talk about on my agenda is something that I actually saw when I was reading, I think it was X-Men 12. I think it was X-Men 12 when I saw it in that comic, and then I saw some news about it that caught my attention. It is around Sword. It is around Sword, which had its first appearance in Astonishing X-Men issue number 6. Let me show you that real quick. If you guys haven't seen that, let me see if I can find it really quickly. I try to get a little better organized tonight. So this is the cover right here. Really awesome Kate Pryde and Colossus cover here. Astonishing X-Men issue number 6. I was actually reading comics for a moment back in the day when this thing dropped. But this is a really cool comic. I have a healthy amount of this run. I was picking it up down when I lived when I was living in Maryland, and it was going to a comic shop in Waldorf, Maryland. I picked this up. So this is actually the first appearance of Sword. And there are some news reports out that we are going to look at in just a hot second that basically says Sword is going to be playing an important role at some point down the road here. Now, one other book that I want to show you guys is this one here. This is Astonishing X-Men issue number 3. Really awesome cover. This is done by Josh Whedon, who is the writer at the time. This is the first appearance of Abigail, what is her last name? Abigail Brand. And Abigail Brand is the head of Sword, however you want to pronounce it, with or without the country accent. These are 2 books that are somewhat important. What I will say to you is do not go out and buy these books. I am not telling people to go out and buy these books. I'm simply highlighting them because if you have them in your collection, you may want to just pay attention to them. I am not endorsing people going out buying these specific books. And here's part of the reason. While Sword, I think, will potentially have some importance, I don't know if the values of the books that talk about an organization are going to go up in value. The same way you talk about like the first appearance of this planet or this tool or this weapon. I don't know if those books warrant high prices, right? So I'm not telling people to go out and buy them. Abigail Brand does have her first appearance in X-Men 3. So there could be something there. But again, I kind of throw this stuff out there for you guys to consider. But again, this is not saying go out and buy these books. Now, what I did find, and I have a lot of windows open, so bear with me. Let me see if I can find this first article that I actually want to share with you guys. This is one that appeared on Newsarama a few days ago. What is SWORD and how could it appear in the MCU, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Great question. Great question. You can see right there, that is Monica. Why do I keep saying Monica Brand? I don't know why that's stuck in my head. That is Abigail Brand with her fantastic green hair, who is a mutant. But scrolling through this thing, this recently appeared in the Empire crossover. It appeared, I think, at the end of X-Men issue number 12, part of the Dawn of X. And SWORD is definitely coming back. So there's a graph here, if you will, that kind of talks about what SWORD actually is, and what it stands for and all that other kind of stuff. None of that stuff is really relevant here. I'm trying to scroll down to the meat of this thing that I actually wanted to kind of highlight for you guys. Let me see. So here, following the end of Empire, which was this major crossover event, Abigail Brand disbanded Alpha Flight SWORD. So what had happened was there was SWORD, there was Alpha Flight. At one point in the history of Marvel, Alpha Flight became part of SWORD, and now with the ending of Empire, Abigail basically separated the two away from each other. Right, they are now separate, and so I think that was one important thing. Now, what's really cool about this thing is that spinning out of the ending of Empire, Marvel Comics will launch a new SWORD series in December, which recast. They are redefining what this agency actually is. And they are redefining it as a mutant organization headed by Abigail, who I mentioned is already who is a mutant. And they kind of highlight who her core team actually is. So Manifold, Magneto, Cable, I'm guessing it's the young Cable. I'm assuming it's the young Cable, Frenzy, and a few other characters here. And it says, let me see if I can scroll down here. In the aftermath, mutant can't. Here is in the startling aftermath of 10 of Swords, mutant kind will take the bold next step in claiming their destiny by relaunching SWORD to deal with things extraterrestrial on behalf of Earth. And this is the description that is actually coming out talking about this mini series that is actually going to be launched. The events of SWORD will have a tremendous impact, not only on the X-Men's world, but also on the Marvel universe as a whole, as the mutants of SWORD warp the cosmic landscape forever. And that's a lot. They are setting this thing up big. And this article actually goes on to talk about how they are going to potentially introduce SWORD in the streaming services, and then also possibly in the MCU, and that potentially SWORD may actually serve as an introduction for the X-Men coming into the MCU a little bit sooner rather than later. And so let me see here, especially given the recent clues in the WandaVision trailer, it could be foreshadowed the arrival of mutant kind in the MCU, possibly through reality altering means. And so, and you know, they talk about this connection of mutants, et cetera, et cetera. So again, part of it is that we might actually see mutants in the MCU sooner rather than later. I do not think that that is basically saying that we will see the X-Men. I think what it is saying is that mutants, Abigail Brand being one, could be the way that mutants are kind of brought in some way, shape, or form. Who knows what Kevin Feige and all of the folks over at that are doing the Disney streaming services, who knows how they're going to manage this thing. But I think it's going to be really, really awesome to see how they do this thing. So let me head over real quick. A couple of comments here. Got mine right before they started focusing on it 2 years back. There was a comment there from Almighty. New SWORD with Kid Cable connected to the New Mutant Society, says Comic Hunter comment there. Let me see. Just got ASM. Okay, let me scroll through. Let me see if there's any you're thinking about. Yeah. And so I'm thinking about Monica Rambeau, but then I was watching some gossipy stuff on Monica. and what's the other girl? Brandy. I don't know. Maybe they're stuck in my maybe that's what it is. Too many names jumbled around in my head. New Sword series starting in December. Yep, we just covered that. I'm actually scrolling up through some of the stuff. Almighty Liger King giving me a hard time. Monica Brand, Kate Bishop. What other net, bro? I'm just making it up as I go along. Okay, whatever comes out, comes out. You guys just have to forgive me. Do not buy it. Raging, do not mind. But no, I just wanted to kind of throw some of this stuff out there so you guys had a little bit of awareness. What is this? Almighty Liar can't give me a hard time. Those books going to spike now that Reggie mentioned them. No, I hope not. I hope not. But you know, the thing is, as what is this? Looked that way based upon the WandaVision preview, says Vanessa. I'm thinking that was piggybacking off of a comment a little bit earlier, possibly off of something I said. Scrolling down, Derek, welcome to the live stream, bud. It is definitely good to see you. Yes, indeed. That which one was that? That was X-Men 3. Astonishing X-Men 3 is a gorgeous, gorgeous cover. Definitely like that one. So scrolling down through some of the comments here. Yeah. So again, these are a couple of the books that are associated with Sword and Abigail Brand. I'll show these books one more time. I actually already have these books in my collection and have for quite some time. This first one right here, Astonishing X-Men, this gorgeous yellow cover, and you have the two shades of yellow here. Wolverine in this amazing pose, like headed right for you. And then you have the shades of blue. This is a really, really nice cover to me. But this book right here, I want to say is the cameo appearance of Abigail Brand. This is her cameo right here in Astonishing X-Men number 3. And then I'll show you guys her first full appearance as well as the first mention of Sword. It is this really awesome Kate Pryde and Colossus cover right here. Striking cover to me. I really, really dig this cover. So this is again, the first full appearance of Abigail, as well as the first mention of Sword. And again, you know, they have their intertwined stuff that is actually happening with Alpha Flight. I was kind of sort of hoping that Alpha Flight might make it into the MCU or streaming service sooner rather than later. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw all of my Alpha Flight books, but I remain hopeful that some magic will still get made there with that one sooner rather than later. My man Mikey Sutton is in here. It's good to see you. What is this? Reggie, you were right. What is this? Reggie, you were right about 3 Jokers. Man, Kimball, man. The 3 Jokers was official. Well, technically it's now 2 Jokers, but 3 Jokers issue number 2 was official. There were a couple of moments in there I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I'm serious. If you guys have not read, if you are not reading 3 Jokers, I encourage you to read 3 Jokers. It is really, really well done. And for me, I'm a huge fan of A Death in the Family. And to some degree or another, that ties to that. I read, The Dark Side War, and this is somewhat tied to the Dark Side War. I was watching a guy's video earlier today, and he has this theory that somehow or another that potentially the 3 Jokers thing is maybe tied to some multi-universal kind of stuff that is happening that might tie back to Dark Side War, which is an incredible DC series. DC, man, they are doing some really awesome stuff with a couple of their books that I thoroughly enjoy. But the 3 Jokers, fantastic. I actually am going to be recording a video a little bit later tonight. I have a couple of the 3 Jokers books that you guys will be seeing. So definitely a good one. Let me scroll down through some of the comments here. Hey, Reggie, finally glad I could watch the live stream. School waits for no one, brother. Brother, I hear you. I'm so glad to be done with all that. I read the first issue, if you will. I can't remember what it was called. I don't think it was issue 1, but whatever that first introductory book was for 10 of Swords. It's like a novella. It is like a novella. It is dense. It is packed full of a lot of stuff that I want to parse out and better understand, but knowing that I potentially can't understand it yet, I just need to keep reading. So it took me a couple of attempts to get through 10 of Swords. I will probably read it digitally, but I do not think that I'm going to buy it. and I'll probably read it digitally just so I can be conversant in it. The whole Excalibur sword, mystical, magical thing, that's not my gig. That's not my gig. And it might go down that path. I'm not quite certain yet. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Despite the fact that I love swords, 10 of Swords is not necessarily my jam, but I am following some of this stuff. So, Three Jokers is definitely good. That Red Hood, man, that Red Hood. Man, that brother, just Milt's like, yeah, just wait for the omnibus, bro. There are too many parts, too many tie-ins. It is too much. It is too much. I'm a Red Hood fan after reading Three Jokers. What was crazy, Dan P, is I was actually working on a video about Red Hood. I was literally pulling together all of the important appearances associated with Red Hood to be able to do a video. And then the Three Jokers comes out and I'm like, oh, this might still work out to my advantage. So who knows whether I'm actually going to finish the video. We will see. We will see whether I'll finish finding the books that constitute the major books for Red Hood. Besides, of course, the early, super early appearance. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that one. Thanks. What is this? Tiger saying, thanks for putting me on to Prodigy. Just found, man, bro, Prodigy from issue number 1 captured my imagination. It captured my attention. I think it's 6 parts. I read all 6 parts like super quick. And I, of course, bounced over to the Google machine, not the Google machine, the eBays. I went over to the eBays and made a purchase, man. And yeah. I'm not going to tell you what else I've been thinking. I can't give away all my secrets, but I definitely have some stuff on my mind. Henry, welcome. DB is like 10 of Swords was disappointing. You know, it's the third time. It's the third read where it starts to make sense. The first one makes no sense. Second one, you start getting a little bit of it. It's the third one where you're like, oh, now. The Red Hood was the Joker first, and then became later on one of the Robins donned it after being killed by one of the Jokers. Super simple. That is like the super explanation that helps me to maintain. I'm certain somebody can definitely help you guys with that one. So we could be seeing an awesome version of a Joker there. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it away. Yeah, that'll be cool. We will see whether that actually happens. So, all right. So let me keep this thing moving forward. So talking about Sword was one of the things that I wanted to hip you guys to. Showed you a couple of the books that are associated with that. Again, I already have these books in my collection, so I am not going out buying them. I'm not even saying you should buy them. I'm simply saying here is some information for those. So a couple of weeks ago, I talked about U.S. Agent and how I was excited for this new U.S. Agent title to come out. I started reading some of the U.S. Agent appearances because I was kind of interested in the character. Like I read some of the stuff back in the day, back in like the 90s. And I don't really recall a whole lot of it. So I started trying to read some of the stuff and I need to do some more work. I definitely need, I'll tell you that I need to do a little bit more research here, especially because the title is still going to be forthcoming. They actually switched out the artist for some reason or another. The artist that I actually talked about a couple of weeks ago has now been switched out. We don't know why. We don't know why that has happened, but there is a new artist, and this person actually comes from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was the artist on that, and now he's taking over for, we're replacing the previous artist, and we'll see what this guy actually does. But again, I thought that this was a pretty cool book. Looking forward to it, and part of the reason why this one is interesting is that it's scheduled to debut in November. It is a 5-part series that actually will come out prior to the MCU's debut and the Disney Plus streaming service. So basically the rumor is, and I guess it's kind of been somewhat confirmed. I see Mikey Sutton here. Maybe he can speak to this. Maybe he knows something. But it appears that the U.S. Agent will be appearing in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier Disney Plus streaming service. Now, this show, I do believe was like ahead in the production process, and I think has now been pushed back. I think it was still like, it was supposed to come out, I think like first or pretty early before like WandaVision and She-Hulk and some of the other stuff. But now it appears that it has been moved back. At least that was the last thing that I saw. And some of these other series like She-Hulk and WandaVision have now actually been pulled forward. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how US Agent actually shows up. But again, I thought that this was a pretty cool thing. Marvel seems to like these mini one-shot arc stories that they tend to do, right? Like they're doing one right now. They did one recently for Immortal She-Hulk. Right, they did a one shot for Immortal She-Hulk, kind of sort of in advance of the She-Hulk show appearing. And I read that issue, and it wasn't great. It wasn't bad. I think I gave it a okay, but we'll talk about that in just a hot second. So that is the news around what is happening with the US Agent series that is going to be coming out in December. And I want to show you guys one book. I want to show you one book that is associated with that, just because I was working on a theme here. So this one right here is Captain America 354. And again, this is another book that I have in my collection. This is actually the first John Walker as US Agent. And so John Walker was originally, he was some other kind of soldier. I can't remember what he was called, but he was something else. Then he became, I think, Captain America, and then he became US Agent. And so this is his first appearance as US Agent. I believe that his first appearance was Captain America 323. First appearance of John Walker 323. His first appearance as US Agent 354. So hopefully I did not get anything wrong in that, but those are, I believe, the truths as I see them. So I may have just lost my chat, which never is a good thing, especially when it happens early in a live stream. So yep, it looks like I did lose it. So I'm actually going to pop back over. What is this? Actually, he has more comics. He recently bought 100K. I guess you guys were having a conversation. Oh, we just brought the chat back. I don't know what happened, but thank you. Connie, it is good to see you. Let me scroll back now and let me see if I can see what you guys are talking about. Looking forward to the Bucky and Falcon on Disney Plus. I think it's going to be good, man. The Winter Soldiers, I enjoy the Winter Soldier. So I don't know who is playing. I don't know who's playing the Winter Soldier. Hopefully it's the same guy that was in the movies, because that would be dope. Same thing with Falcon. I don't pay attention to Star stuff, but hopefully it's the same people. So Mikey, there we go. Mikey's dropping some tea in here, spilling some tea in here. He's giving us all kinds of tidbits. Thank you, brother, for being in here. What is this? May shock us like that Juggernaut mini. Bro, that Juggernaut mini series, that's a 5-part story arc, or that 5-part series, which is essentially 5 kind of sort of one shots. Issue number 1, I thought was interesting. I thought it was a good read, and we gained a tremendous amount of insight, if you will, into who Juggernaut is and how he doesn't consider himself to be a hero, despite the fact that he does some heroic stuff. I thought that was pretty interesting. Alex, welcome to the live stream, buddy. And again, if you guys are in here, I definitely want to encourage you guys to hit the like button. Definitely hit the subscribe button so that you can stay abreast of all the content that I release on a weekly basis. There you go. Thank you, Joey. So he was introduced as Super Patriot, which is like super duper or super dude, right? So Super Patriot, I think he appeared in 323, Captain America 323 as Super Patriot. He went on in some other issue that I cannot recall. I'm assuming it was a Captain America to become Captain America. And then I think he became a U.S. agent in Captain America 354. Thank you, Joe. I definitely appreciate that. Scrolling down through because Wonder Woman is dope. That's why you watch it again, Vanessa. Wonder Woman is dope. I enjoyed that movie. I enjoyed that one. Let me see. I'm scrolling through some of the comments here. Ultraman does indeed bring back some memories. I actually have a blog post up. I can't remember who wrote that one. It might have been Scott. I think Scott wrote that one. He has a blog post up on regiecollects.com where he actually talks about Ultraman. That definitely brings back a whole lot of memories for me as well. So scrolling up through the comments, seeing what I might have missed when I was kind of locked out. Scrolling through the comments here. Okay, there was a nice little lull there, so I'm scrolling through. Scrolling. All right, I'm caught up enough, I think. So there was one other thing that I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about. And you guys remember, I've been talking a fair bit, I think, about like Null and the King in Black, right? I think I've done a couple of streams and stuff like that, kind of talking about the King in Black. And so one of the things, and I could not find it, I was on the Twitters, and I'm not a huge fan of the Twitters, but I was on the Twitters and I was trying to find an image that was rumored to exist out there, and I was not able to find it, but I did find a couple of other interesting things while I was poking around on the Twitters regarding the King in Black series. And I just thought this was interesting because one of the characters is one that I dig. It's a character that is going to be appearing in that series, and I kind of dig the character, so I wanted to talk about it ever so briefly. But this is a page from King in Black, and you can see, Captain Marvel, Captain America, Iron Man, and She-Hulk right there. But down here, there's a comment here. Old habits. Hey, speaking of bombs, any word on the big man yet? And still waiting to hear. I'd say a prayer if I were. And he kind of trails off there, does Cap. And so the question is, who is the big man? Who is the big man that they are talking about right there? The big man. I do believe, and again, you guys may know some of this stuff better than I do. The big man is this guy right here, the Sentry. And so I believe, and we talked about this in one of the previous live streams, we talked about the light and stuff like that. The light that may be the counterpoint to the dark that is Null could be the Sentry. And this is a sketch that was that I pulled from the artist Twitter feed of the Sentry, and I have dug the Sentry for like forever. When the Sentry was first introduced back in the day, again, this was one of the books that I picked up when I was in the hobby at one point in the 2000s. I dig the Sentry, Robert Reynolds or Bob, and the Void, and so he is going to be appearing, I do believe, in the King in Black. So I'm actually looking forward to this because this is a super powerful character that in many ways is underutilized. I thoroughly enjoyed him in the New Avengers story arc. That New Avengers that was done by Bendis back in the day is one of my favorite titles, and the Sentry was in that. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I'd love to get the original artwork on this, but knowing Master Blaster, he has probably already picked it up. He's probably already had it in his collection. There's a super chat. Let me acknowledge that before I go on, because that'll disappear on me. DB says, in celebration of my Giant's Eyes X-Men #1, congrats to you, my friend. Congrats to you for being able to pick up that book. That is a fantastic book. Hands down, my favorite X-Men #1 book. Hands down, Giant's Eyes X-Men is the book. So congrats to you, my friend. I definitely appreciate the super chat. So the last thing I wanted to share with you guys on this particular topic is this right here. This artwork, and I believe that all of this is Ryan Stegman. I think all of this is Ryan Stegman. This is a page right here from the King in Black. And we see Captain Marvel, we see Wolverine, Spider-Man, Doc Strange, Venom. I don't know who that is right there. I can't even tell who that is. Captain America. And then here's Incredible Hulk, who was actually swapped out in the final artwork, was actually swapped out for the Thing. So the Thing is actually replacing Hulk right here. You can see the Thing's hand right here, and he actually ends up coming over here and being in the background of this particular thing. But this pencil work is just, it's an awesome sketch. It is an awesome sketch. I really dug this one when I saw it. I am looking forward to the King in Black. I don't know if I'll get all the tie-ins, but I'm looking forward to seeing what Null does to the Marvel Universe and potentially how the Sentry and he square off on one another. My hope is that it will be an epic battle versus a one punch and done kind of thing. I'm hoping that they do both of these incredibly powerful characters a little bit of justice by having them fight it out in the streets, if you will, over more than just a couple of frames. So fingers crossed on that. But again, this was just some fantastic artwork that I saw that I wanted to kind of share with you guys, especially because I wanted to talk about the Sentry. All right, so I'm popping back to the chat here, scrolling through. What is this? Just One X-Men 7. And the eBay, but man, the eBay bucks, if you haven't yet started using your eBay bucks, you may want to use them. You have 30 days from like yesterday, I think the eBay bucks actually popped up. So scrolling through some of the comments here, Milt is saying congrats on the giant size to DB. Definitely a cool book. Scrolling through, so much talent to draw, man. It's a lot of talent, man. A lot of talent. Aaron's asking about that giant size X-Men #1. I actually saw somebody at one of my local, they were outside of a shop that I've been to here in the Bay Area, and they picked up a giant size X-Men 8.0. And it's a really awesome book. And it does not matter the grade. It's one of those cool books and I felt like when I got it, that my collection was like starting to be official. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, like this is a book that people want. This is a book that I want. This is a book that you see on the wall when you go to cons or you go to shops. It was nice to actually have that book in the collection. So I felt like, man, I am official. So scrolling through, it's some incredible art right there. No doubt about that. No doubt. Well done. Scrolling through some of the comments here. 30 days for eBay bucks. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I went in there and I went into the eBays and I pulled up my account, and my eBay bucks was kind of low. my eBay bucks spend was not a big number, mostly because I do a lot more deals with dealers and stuff like that, like off of eBay. So it was I could probably buy like a comic. I could like a brand new modern comic, not including shipping. But shout out to all you guys that have those eBay bucks, man. I don't feel so bad now. I got a couple of extra bucks, man. I got a couple of extra bucks more than that. Oh man, Tina's like, my eBay is low too, man. The eBays, man, it's tough out there. Really, I was talking to Wayne a couple of times this weekend. Wayne was trying to spend up all my money. Squirrel Madness. He was trying to spend up all my money. I don't think he's in here right now, but he was sending me various auctions across the internet, and he's sending me these listings. Like, I thought you might be interested. So now that I know about it, I have to watch it, and I'm watching. I'm like, man, that is a good price for that book. One of them was Amazing Spider-Man Annual Issue #1. And when I saw the price, it was like 1/6 of the actual fair market value for that comic. And man, you talk about tempted, but it was also like 20 hours to go. I was like, that book will not finish there. But the book still did. It went for a lot less than FMV. So someone definitely walked away with a pretty awesome deal for that book. So shout out to Squirrel Madness for trying to spend up all my money. And thankfully I did not fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Can somebody tell me where that is? Can someone tell me what movie that's from? How do you find your eBay bucks? Well, I use the app. So I have the app, and as soon as I logged into my app earlier yesterday, it actually told me exactly how many eBay bucks I had. I'm guessing somewhere in the settings, it will tell you if you don't use the app somewhere. If you log in, it should actually tell you what's going on with that. So let me see. There you go. Almighty Liger King's dropping the knowledge right there. There you go. There you well done. One of my favorite movies. I'm gonna tell you, Axel Foley, all of it, man. Beverly Hills Cop, all of those are just fantastic movies. When he was singing Roxanne and in 48 Hours with Nick Nolte, whoo, I love some Eddie Murphy. I do. Talented dude. Back when I used to sneak and watch, what was that show? His stand-up Raw and Delirious. on VHS. All right, so let me give you guys a heads up on some of the books that I read recently. I want to give you guys a little bit of insight into a couple of the books that I've read recently. By and large, these are some pretty awesome books out there. Three Jokers issue number 2, which we've already spoken about. I thoroughly enjoyed that book. I really did. I think that the book was really well done. I thought the pacing was well done. I thought there were a couple of nice little surprises in there that I did not see coming, that were just good writing, good artwork, good storytelling. DC is making magic, at least with this particular title. I read, and I said that book was awesome. That's my rating scale. It was awesome. The Department of Truth. I may need to read Department of Truth again. So there were several people that I put up a post on Instagram, like, what are you looking forward to reading this coming weekend? And a lot of people were like, Department of Truth, Department of Truth. And I didn't know what it was. So I was like, what is this Department of Truth? So I go to the comic shop. I say, hey, Department of Truth. Before I could even finish the sentence, my guy was like, I read it a month ago. It's incredible. So I'm like, okay, I'll take a copy. So I get it. And I read it. And it wasn't bad. I called it, my rating was okay. That's kind of like, it's so/okay. So it's okay. I may need to read it again. The first read, it did not capture me. It wasn't bad, but it did not capture me like some other books that I've read. The Resistance issue number 6. This was the final Resistance. A couple of shockers in this one. I enjoyed this read. I said it was solid. I thought it was a solid read. I am saddened by the fact that the Resistance from AWA is done. The first book is Three Jokers was DC. Department of Truth, I want to say, was Image. And then the Resistance is AWA, which is an indie. It was good. It was good. I'm waiting to see what else they're going to release. Like, they haven't updated their website in quite some time. I'm like, can you guys let me know what is coming out from AWA? So hopefully they give us some update on like Moths, because Moths is like, I think, a continuation of the Resistance. So I'm looking forward to reading that. I started reading because of what is his name? Pretty Fly for a Filipino Guy. This guy likes to message me late at night. So we're going back and forth late at night. And this happens fairly often, So we started talking about Black. And it is a book that someone else, maybe like Sully Two Kings or one of these other guys, recommended to me months and months ago. I never really looked into it because I get a lot of recommendations. You can't read everything, and you certainly won't remember everything. But Pretty Fly for a Filipino Guy mentioned it to me. And I was like, somebody told me about that. So I went to go read it. It was solid. It was solid. And the language that is used in the comic, I found to be disappointing, in the sense that it's language that I don't use, that I don't care necessarily to like read and to have other people read. But the comic was not bad. And it's a 6-part series. And I think it was just optioned or purchased by Netflix or something like that. So that's part of why I think Pretty Fly mentioned it to me. Aside from the language and the occasional artwork that didn't quite make sense, they would almost like skip frames, and you would have to try to orient yourself to like, where was that person standing? Because just a second ago they were over there. Now they're over here doing something else. How did they get from here to there? Right. Other than those things, I thought that the Black series was pretty solid. I thought it was pretty solid. And then the last book that I'll mention to you was Immortal She-Hulk. It was a one-shot. And I said that was okay. It was not a bad read. A lot of the stuff with like the, in the past, in the future, in the past, in the future, I kind of struggle with that. I just prefer a story. So this one, I was like, oh, where are we? Are we in the present? Are we in the present future? Are we in the present past, or whatever it was? So I called that one okay. So let me catch up with real quick here. I just picked up Black a couple of weeks ago. It's a good run, crazy covers. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I actually was able to snag a full run of it. There were a couple of people that were selling them on the eBay machine. And I made a couple of offers on some of them. One was appropriately priced, so I bought it. I made a couple of offers on the other one, trying to get the price to where I thought it was appropriate. The person like shaved $5 off, like they countered me and lowered the price $5. I just declined it. And then the second one, I think, just sold. It sold at the full price, which I thought was just too much money. So I at least have one set coming. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. So Super Honorable Nephew says he has all 6 issues. Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm not surprised that you have all 6 issues. I watch your Instagram videos where you're just like flipping all these books, and I'm like, this dude has a lot of stuff. So I'm not surprised. And maybe it was you that told me about it. Somebody told me about it, and I just did not. I did not pick it up back months ago when it was mentioned, and I wish that I had. Scotty's with me, brother. The language, man, it's just there's some things that just, I don't need that level of authenticity. You know what I'm saying? There are words and phrases that people use, which I think is fine for them to use. It's not how I speak. And so I don't necessarily want to read it. I just want to have a good story where I can just enjoy the story for what it is. I don't need that level of authenticity. Let me scroll through. Whoa, they have a spinoffs. Come on, man. Don't tell me that. Almighty Liger King, you're supposed to tell me this before I start talking about it. As you call me the Spike King, we don't need the prices to spike before. But now I need to look into that because I did not know that. Scrolling through some of these. Let me see. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Thank you, Tina. I try to phrase it right. Okay, I think we just what is this? Upshot now has previews from AW. Do they? I need to look at that. Black is awesome. I think I read that one already. There's a new AWA title dropping this Wednesday too. Forgot the title. Did someone give the title of that one already? Did someone say what it was? I hope that it's I'm hoping that it's Moths, man. I want to read Moths. I really need for AWA to continue what they started with the Resistance. I'm really hoping that they continue what they started with that. I have not read it. It is sitting right here. This is a preview of a video that you got. Do not remember this when I show you the actual video. It is sitting here. I have not yet read it. I did read that, which is the Resistance. I read that, which is Department of Truth. And of course, we have the Three Jokers issue number 2. So again, when I showed this in the video, no one said I feel like deja vu. Okay. All right. So let's keep this thing moving. Let me give you guys a quick preview of everything that is going to be coming up from the channel. And then we're going to go ahead and get to the giveaway. So, wait a minute. My man, Jerry, bro. Jerry, I just noticed that you are wearing that exclusive Garage Con Regie Collect shirt in your thumbnail, my man. I just noticed that. Well done, sir. I see the beard and the Regie Collects Garage Con exclusive tee. Absolutely love it. Shout out to you, Jerry. I hope you were doing well. Hope the family's good, my man. All right. So what is this? Comics with Bueller mentions it on his latest comic previews this Wednesday. I don't like that guy. I don't watch Bueller. I don't care for him at all. All right, so let me give you guys a preview. So I am, of course, coming out this week with 4 videos. We're going to be releasing 4 videos this week, no bonus video. And one of those videos will be the go collect phrase, capture the phrase. You head over to the community tab. You do your thing over there. 1 video, 1 giveaway per week. That is it. All right. So we are going to have a comic book haul. I can't remember what the heck I called the video, but it's just called Comic Book Haul for the purpose of what I'm doing right here. By request from the OG Blue Wrench, Tina, we are going to be looking at some obscure comics that I have pulled from the 100K collection. This was months ago when I think I first got the collection. Tina was like, hey, how about a video on some obscure books? So we are going to do it. I can tell you, I can probably do like 3 weeks worth of obscure videos focused on books, right? I'm gonna be completely honest, but I'm doing this one and we will see how it will go. But shout out to Tina for the recommendation. So we're going to be looking at some obscure comics from the 100K collection. I have a video where I'm actually going to be showing you guys a couple of books that I have recently traded people for. Like, I've been doing a lot of trades, which again is part of the reason why I haven't been buying anything on eBay, because I've been doing trades. So there's a video where I'm going to be showing you some things that I've traded for. I talk a little bit about like trading at a super high level. Like, I don't get into dollars or any of that other kind of stuff, but I talk at a super high level about the methodology that I employ. At least I think I did. And then I'm also going to be digging in the collection. So a lot of like haul type of videos this week. I felt like last week had a lot of, I think, heavy content, if you will, a lot of like vlogs and recordings that had a lot of heavy content. This week is going to be a little bit lighter with more hauls and more like digging through comic book bins and that kind of stuff. So again, just trying to kind of balance stuff out a little bit from week to week, if not within the week, certainly from week to week. So those are the 4 videos that are going to be coming out from the channel over the course of this week. I'm also going to be dropping a podcast at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. I will tell you that I am going to be making some changes to the podcast. There are going to be some changes that are going to be made that I will be announcing at a later date. So I at least wanted to give you guys a heads up on that, that if you are enjoying the podcast, if you enjoy being able to take me on the go, stay tuned, because there are going to be some changes that I will be announcing. So let me head back over here real quick. Tina with the assist. Nice. I love obscure. Man, I'm telling you, there's a couple of strange ones in there, man. There's so much just like super strange stuff that I could focus on. And again, if people dig this first one, then I'll probably do a couple more, because again, there's just a lot of like different stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping it's going to be a different yet good week with some of this stuff. So let me scroll down. Robert's in the house. How you doing, man? Any new people in the house? Oh, well, let's do that real quick. DB is asking a very good question. Before we do that, I want to definitely encourage you to hit the like button if you haven't yet smashed that. But the question is, are there any new people? Anybody here for the first time? Put your hand up. Let me know. I want to welcome you if I see it. And certainly the Blue Wrenches will welcome you as well. So Reggie said go. If you want to take Reggie on the go, what is this? Homegrown Comic says that Red Ocean, Blue Ocean. Thank you, man. That was a long recording. And I want to say it was like 3 separate recordings that I combined into one, because it essentially told a single story. And to some degree or another, that story that was told in that is actually a setup for another video that I hope to be releasing. So if you guys think about it, in many ways, what I'm doing is telling the same story over time, adding chapters to it, right? Or it's one long story that is basically being broken into chapters and released. But I'm definitely going to be sharing some things with you guys. So Chuck is like, I specialize in obscure. Chuck has hooked me up with some weird stuff, man, and I am very appreciative of it, because in one of the videos I'm going to be talking about this, man. I'm going to be talking about the fact that we need all types of collectors in this hobby. We cannot just have one type of collector, because the hobby needs diversity. The hobby needs people with different interests, different passions, things that get us excited, you know? So Yoshi says that this is their first time here. So welcome to you, my friend. Scrolling through, scrolling through. Let me see. I lost part of the comment here. The thing got away. What's the name of the book with the red ocean, blue ocean? I don't know that I follow that question, Joey. Are you asking me for the secret book that I was talking about? Because again, I want to say this video was actually, or that recording was actually done back in February, I want to say. So it's actually pretty old. Eric says the second time here. Welcome. That still counts. Scrolling through, it was a long one day. It was definitely a long one. Monty, first time live. Welcome to all of you all. I definitely appreciate it. Michael says first time. I definitely appreciate it. Sully Two Kings is in the house. How you doing, brother? Let me scroll back up because the chat got away from me there. So scrolling down, welcome to all the new people. I absolutely appreciate all of you being in here. Chuck says, picked up my Avengers 8 while it was in the blue ocean. There you go, man. It's definitely the way to go. It definitely is the way to go. Chris, this show is so good. I always feel like it's my first. How you doing, man? It's good to see you. It is good to see you, my friend. I definitely appreciate it. Does Obscure include Latin American and European comics? There are none of those that are mentioned in this first video. I have some in the collection, but that is not necessarily something that I collect. I have a few that have been sent to me as AOKs, but those are not necessarily books that I actually collect. So, yeah, I probably won't be able to do any type of substantive video on to include those types of books. Not first time here, but first time posting. It still counts. It still counts. All right, again, Blue Wrenches, keep an eye on the folks that are coming in. I definitely appreciate you guys welcoming all those people in. The title of the book you read that introduced me to the concept. Let me look because I think I know the title. I think it's called, hold on one sec. I think it is called Blue Ocean Strategy. It is called Blue Ocean Strategy. Let me share my screen with you. And again, I read this book a long time ago. The book is right here. It is called Blue Ocean Strategy by W. Chan. This is the book right here. Argues against common competitive practices while outlining recommendations based upon the creation of untapped market spaces with growth potential. And again, one of the great things that I like to do is I like to take these concepts and these ideas from business and just introduce them to comics. That's essentially what I did. I'm like, why compete in the bloody waters where everybody is going to buy that book and driving up the prices? Why would I pay for that book at the point that everyone is driving the price up? Because the only way to make that work is that if you're able to either you have to own the book and sell the book when the price goes up, or when the price is going up, you have to buy it and turn around and sell it with the hope that the price continues to go up so that you can sell it and actually make a profit. That's the only way that actually makes sense, right? And so instead of trying to play that risky game, my idea is to focus on those books that you have an interest in, where you say, okay, there is something that is going to happen with this character or this team or this title. I believe that it's going to happen. And because I have an interest in that, let me buy this before the price actually goes up. And that works to your advantage, because if you buy the book and you want to keep the book in your collection, then you don't pay the inflated price. And if you buy the book and you want to sell it, by the time that the market goes from the red ocean to where your book is in the blue ocean and makes that book red, you can then sell it and actually make some profit. That actually makes sense. Buy it when the price is low, not when the price is high, right? Buying a book when everyone else is buying it doesn't necessarily make sense unless you are buying it incredibly cheaply. If you are buying it incredibly cheaply, then you do that, or you do that all day long. I bought Ultimate Fallout number 4. Bought it. Super hot book, Red Ocean, Miles Morales, super hot. Bought the book. Red Ocean book. But I got it at a blue ocean price. And it actually makes sense, right? If you're going to do that, that's where it makes sense. But that book is super hot. And to buy it at its height, I struggle with that. I don't want to spend my money that way. But here's the thing, is I don't tell people what to do. What I try to do is to say, here's some things to think about. Here's some things to consider. Now, what you do with that advice, is on you. All right. So we can talk about this all day. I don't know how I got on that tangent, but I did. So let's go ahead and give away this book right here. This is Batman 357. This is the first full appearance of Killer Croc. Shout out to the folks over at Go Collect for, again, putting me in a position consistently to be able to give away these books on a weekly basis. Weekly basis. That is the book. And so the winner will get that book right there, as well as an exclusive variant from Go Collect, Soulfire issue number 1. And I will bag and board this one before I send it out. So those are the 2 books that the winner will get. And I definitely want to encourage you guys to stay tuned, because I will show you the next week's book in just a few moments. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. And we are going to roll some dice, and then we are going to give away some dopeness. So we're going to have 2 dice. We're going to go ahead and roll it, and we have 9. We are going to randomize this list a total of 9 times, and then we are going to give away a couple of books to 1 lucky subscriber. And again, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. That way you can actually be eligible for these giveaways. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen one more time. This is the list of all of those people. And this week we only had 1 person that entered twice, right? They entered twice and they changed their name, they changed their email address. And I went ahead and deleted both of the entries, because if you enter twice where you're changing your information, that is not how we do things here. So I went ahead and deleted that entry. All right. So these are all the names of all the people that were able to successfully find the video, that being the first video that was released this week with the Batman book actually shown. And they were able to enter the giveaway. So we're going to randomize this thing a total of 9 times. Scrolling down, there were 278 people. So we're going to randomize it again. That is 2. Here is 3. That's 4. That's 5. I think you guys can see that, right? Yeah, that's 5. Scrolling down, here is 6. And I think, what was it, 9? Yeah, 6. Scrolling down, 7. 8. And the winner of this week's Go Collect giveaway is B. Collins. B. Collins, you are the winner of this week's Go Collect giveaway. Please send me an email to Regie at regiecollects.com, providing me with your screen name, your government name, your full name, and of course your mailing address. I will bundle this up for you. So you can see here the top 5 people, and I think Ian, I think it's Ian, I think has been in the top 5 before. So those are the top 5. You can see the top 10. And again, we had 278 people that entered this week's giveaway. I see Raging Cajun down there. Sin, Bayou Boy Entertainment. My man Randy Resnake Joa is in there. I see all you guys. All right. And Yoshi. Yoshi's first live stream, and he's in the top 22. All right. So congrats, B. Collins. Make sure that you send me an email. And again, you have 1 week to claim your prize, or else it goes to Evan, and Evan will have 1 week. So fingers crossed B. Collins is able to actually claim his book in a timely fashion. So I'm not going to close that window, because I like to leave it up until the winner actually claims his prize. So they're going to get this book and again, the exclusive variant from Go Collect. So I'm going to set those off to the side. And any guesses? No, I'm not going to do that to you guys. Let me scroll down. Let me scroll down. Actually, I just lost the chat again. Chat just went out. Let me go ahead and go to YouTube real quick, because I'm actually going to show you all the book that is going to be given away this coming week. So let me go to the YouTube machine, and my preview show. It's showing me an ad, which we are going to skip in 3 seconds, and skip that. All right, so we got that. All right, so Jerry's always like, man, just get to the book, man. Get to the book. Jerry, I'm on it. I'm on it. So this is the book right here. This is the book that we are going to be giving away. We were talking about Red Hood, right? So we're going to be giving away Batman 635. This is a 9.6 with white pages. First, Jason Todd as Red Hood. This is a really awesome book, CGC book. We are going to be giving this one away, and I have my lights in a new place, so I definitely have a lot of glare. So apologies for that. It is a gorgeous book. It is a gorgeous book. Trust me when I tell you, but I felt like people would like this book. So I am lucky enough to have a 9.8 of this book that actually came out of my pedigree collection, air quote, my pedigree collection. But I saw this 9.6 and I was like, this is a really awesome book to give away. So again, huge shout out to the sponsor who has like, they support the channel. They really have done a fantastic job of being there and again putting me in a position to be able to do this kind of stuff. So if you guys are interested in checking out the Go Collect features and functionality on a trial basis, I definitely want to encourage you guys to head over to my YouTube channel. If you go to my partners page at Regie Collects, there is a promo code there that you can actually use to get 30 days free access to Go Collect. I make nothing off of that promo code. It just gives you guys 30 days access. You can go over, you can check it out. The other thing is that tomorrow, tomorrow, Go Collect is going to be launching a new feature, and I believe it's on the existing website. They are moving into concert posters, graded concert posters, and so there are values associated with graded concert posters, and these are graded by CGC. And so on tomorrow, they are going to be launching a new feature that allows people to look up the values associated with concert posters. And this is going to be dropping tomorrow. I have not tested out the feature. I don't really know a whole lot about it other than it is happening tomorrow. And I think you will temporarily have access to look up these concert posters, I think through your regular membership on Go Collect. I think you will have temporary access to be able to look these values up and to kind of see what's what. I'm curious, right? Because I'll tell you, when I look at the values that are happening with these games, I'm tempted to start buying video games. You can see my my Burger Time back there. That is the only graded comic, and honestly, the only game that is in this entire house is that Burger Time right there, because it takes me back to my childhood. But Go Collect has prices for the games as well as the concert posters. So if that is something you guys are interested in, that service gets launched tomorrow. All right. So let me head back over to the YouTube. I have some tool posters that need to be graded. It says homegrown comics. Scrolling through, they're going to be some big, man, they are, bro, I can only imagine, T-Bone, how big they are. I mean, you're probably talking about, I did an interview with the guy that does a lot of this. I mean, those graded concert posters are massive. They are massive. So scrolling through, Raging Cajuns, like, yes, Go Collect app. Scrolling through, Go Collect app will make it. Yeah, you know, the thing about it is, I mean, as you, wait a minute, don't understand it. By you boys, like, stay out of it. Man, and I'll tell you, I had a conversation with Nerdy Girl, and she was like, come on in, the water's fine. I'm like, I don't think so. A lot of people want apps. They want apps. I will tell you that creating an app, because I have done it, is not easy. It is also not cheap, right? An app can run you, for like a basic bare bone app, that will run you 120 grand. Easy 120 grand. Then you want all the bells and whistles and all the fancy stuff, and you want it to connect to the website and have all that connectivity. That is not a cheap proposition, right? I personally don't know the advantage of an app versus just pulling the website up on my phone, to be honest with you, because I do it all on my phone. I personally don't see the advantage of an app. I go right to the website. I do everything that I need to do. I don't see the advantage, but a lot of people are calling for that. But just so you know, it's not cheap. It's not cheap to do, not cheap at all. So let me go back to the chat real quick, and then I think I am going to get ready to wrap this thing up. I saw a comment, Nerdy Girl cornered the market. Man, when I saw her putting up those shelves, I was like, I already know she's going to put something on those shelves. You don't go out and buy, what was it, like 4 or 5 shelves? You don't buy 4 or 5 shelves and not put something on them. If you guys are following me on Instagram, look at my story. I posted up a photo today that I found on the Twitters that made my heart a flutter. It made my heart a flutter because when I move to a larger house, this is what I'm going to create in my house. I sent it to my wife. She is now officially on notice what is going to go down in the new house. She knows. Concert posters, but no graded treasuries yet, says Joey. Joey's like, what's going on with the treasuries? Here's the thing. The big challenge is this. How much money is there in treasuries? By and large, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, by and large, treasuries don't have a crazy amount of value associated with them, unlike games and concert posters. While I'm not a fan of either one of those things, there is a lot of money and money talks, right? So it makes sense that they don't have something for treasuries, because do they even still make treasuries, right? I don't think so. I think most of it is like older stuff, but what are the values associated with those treasuries? Unlike, again, comics and games and concert posters. I think there's a lot more money in some of that stuff. So scrolling through, the only issue with an app is also it has limited functions compared to the site. There you go. Unless you spend a whole lot of money, or unless you're primarily an app, like Shortbox. Shortbox is pretty much only an app, and they have had multiple versions of their app that they've rolled out. Same thing with Key Collector, right? So it starts off somewhat basic. As they start to make some money, they start to enhance it and grow it, because to build an app is not cheap at all. I love that Go Collect has a CGC signature series data at my fingertips. Agreed. Master Blaster's pointing that out. And a lot of people still don't know that Go Collect actually has not just CGC signature series and purple labels and green labels, but they also have CBCS in there as well, which is great. And I don't think that they have connected the database yet to CBCS, but they do have sales data. If you want to look at CBCS across all of its labels, you have that ability. The same thing with CGC, of course, which is really, really cool. So scrolling down through the comments here real quick, you guys are talking about some of the video games and stuff like that. CGC is going to start grading coins and bills, and you can send them money. They do that now. NGC. When I was down at CGC, I actually walked through where they grade the paper money and where they grade the coins and where they encapsulate the coin. And they have this really cool machine where the coins get loaded. The coins, they take photos of the front and the back of the coin, and that gets digitized, and then it gets encapsulated. The coin, there's like one machine, it gets loaded, and then it comes out already graded and all that other stuff. It's crazy. It is a crazy machine that they have for that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, they're doing all that right now. And yeah, the NGC and then like the paper money division, those divisions are actually much, much larger than CGC is. And I want to say, and I may get this wrong, I think I was told that they have the ability to basically sort through and process around 100,000 coins a day. I want to say that that's what they told me, but it's also been a couple of weeks, and that wasn't like my area of interest. So that might have come in one ear and gone out the other, and I just could have made up a number. But I do know for a fact that the paper money side of CGC is larger than CGC itself. And I actually saw their vault. I saw the vault where all the collectibles go at the end of the night. It is a massive, massive room that man, it's impressive. It really is impressive stuff. What is this? Have I ever auctioned anything through Heritage? No, I've never auctioned anything through Heritage or Comic Link. I've only ever bought something through Comic Link once. I'm not a huge auction person. I sell everything primarily through my own website, because that way I don't have to pay any fees or any of that other stuff to anybody. I have my own infrastructure and I process everything right through there. So Milt says, I've been sending my paper money collection through NGC for years. I'll tell you, Milt, one of the dopest things that I did when I was down at CGC, man, is I had an opportunity to spend some time with the owner of NGC and CGC, and he brought out of his collection some super rare money. currency. And one of them was a $3 million coin. It was a coin that was worth $3 million. And it was like that big. It was heavy, $3 million. I also held, I think I held some Confederate money. It was like various currency, but the $3 million coin, that was an impressive moment right there. It's not every day that you get the whole 3 million, much less a coin that can fit in your pocket that is valued at 3 million. So I can't remember what it was. Somebody's asking me what it was. High voltage, Mark. Bro, I was so overwhelmed by the fact that I was holding $3 million, and I'm standing there talking to the owner of CGC. I'm talking to Chris Claremont, his wife, and I'm holding 3 mil. It was like, it was too much. It was too much. It was too overwhelming. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me during this live stream. We have gone 1 hour and 15 minutes, which is a long time. But I want to thank you guys for hanging in there with me. I hope that you all enjoyed this show. And if you did, again, I definitely want to encourage you to hit the thumbs up button. Stay tuned. There's a lot of really awesome content that is going to be coming out from the channel this week. We are getting closer to 10,000 subs. And I think that I'm going to do a really long live stream when we hit 10,000 subs. And during this live stream, my goal is to give away a bunch of stuff. And you have to be present in order to win. We may have some guests. I haven't yet spoken to anybody, but we may have a couple of guests. We will definitely have some announcements that are going to be made about what is happening with the channel. A lot of stuff that I'm really excited about, and I hope that you guys will join me. And again, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please take the time to do so, because it gets us closer to that mark of 10,000 subscribers. If you guys need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects, or you can send me an email to Regie@regiecollects.com. If you need me, I am not too hard to find. Take care.